While Jesus was in Bethany at the house of Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume, which she poured on his head as he was reclining at table. And when the disciples saw this, they were indignant. "Why this waste?" they asked. "This perfume could have been sold at a high price and the money given to the poor." Aware of this, Jesus said to them, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful thing for me. The poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. When she poured this perfume on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. Truly, I tell you, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver Jesus to you?" So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. And from then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over.
Be merciful to me, Lord, for I am in distress. My eyes grow weak with sorrow, my soul and body with grief. My life is consumed by anguish, and my years by groaning. My strength fails because of my affliction, and my bones grow weak. Because of all my enemies, I am the utter contempt of my neighbors and an object of dread to my closest friends. Those who see me on the street flee from me. I am forgotten as though I were dead. I have become like broken pottery. For I hear many whispering, terror on every side. They conspire against me and plot to take my life. But I trust in you, Lord. I say, you are my God.
They went to a place called Gethsemane. And Jesus said to the disciples, "Sit here while I pray." So he took Peter, James, and John along with him, and he began to be deeply distressed and troubled. "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death," he said to them. "Stay here and keep watch." So going on a little further, he fell to the ground and prayed that if possible, this hour might pass from him. "Abba, Father," he said, "everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me. Yet not what I will, but you will." And he returned to the disciples and found them sleeping. "Simon," he said to Peter, "are you asleep? Couldn't you watch for 1 hour? Watch and pray that you do not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Once more, Jesus went away and prayed the same thing. And when he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. They did not know what to say to him. Returning a third time, he said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Enough. The hour has come. Look, the Son of Man is delivered into the hand of sinners." I know it's not the tradition of this congregation and the tradition of many Lutheran congregations, which, as you probably know, I'm trying single-handedly to change. But for communion on Good Friday, and I don't understand that, because it seems that wherever time, this is it. Last night we celebrated the sacrament with the Passover. What we say in the lesson, and we say in the words, the body and the blood given for you. Tonight is the night when Jesus gives his body. Tonight, today is the day when he gives his body for our souls. And today is the day of his blood. Today is the day when the thorns on the head, tearing his head and his face, the whip in his back, literally tearing the skin off his bones, the nails in his hands and the spear in his side. This is the day. And we talk about the new covenant. This is the day. This is the day when we now live because of that body and blood in a new covenant, a covenant of forgiveness, not of condemnation, a covenant of hope, not of despair. We now live in a covenant of life, not of death, a covenant of love, not of vengeance. So, having said that, even though perhaps it is not our tradition, I invite you to share in the body and blood of our Lord Jesus. The text says to stand, please. Let us just remain inspired. On the night that he was betrayed to death, as we have read and as we have heard, Jesus took bread and broke it. He gave it to those whom he loved. He gives it to you and says to you, "This is my body broken for you. Take and eat, and do this in remembrance of me." As we used to say in the old days, and then in the same manner also he took the cup. And when he had given thanks, he gave it to them and said to them, "Take and drink. This is my blood. This is the blood of the new covenant, shed for you, shed for all people, for the forgiveness of sins. Do this and remember me." With a little help, I'll offer you, invite you to come to share in the body and blood and the sacrifice of our Savior Jesus. The chief priests were looking for evidence against Jesus so they could put him to death, but they could not find any. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements did not agree. Then some stood up and gave this false testimony against him. "We heard him say, 'I will destroy the temple made with human hands, and in 3 days will build another not made with hands.' Yet even then their testimony did not agree. The crowd came up and asked Pilate to do for them what he usually did. 'Do you want me to release for you the king of the Jews?' asked Pilate, knowing that it was out of self-interest that the chief priests had handed Jesus over to him. But the chief priests stirred up the crowd to have Pilate release Barabbas instead. 'Then what shall I do with the one you call the king of the Jews?' Pilate asked them. 'Crucify him,' they shouted. 'Why? What crime has he committed?' asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, 'Crucify him!' And wanting to satisfy the crowd, Pilate released Barabbas to them. He had Jesus flogged and handed him over to be crucified.
He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hid their faces, he was despised, and we held him in low esteem. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God, stricken by him, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed.
After they mocked Jesus, they took off his robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they forced him to carry the cross. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. And there they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down, the soldiers kept watch over him there. Above his head they placed the written charge against him, "This is Jesus, King of the Jews." 2 rebels were crucified with him, one at his right and one at his left. And those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "You, who are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. Come down from the cross if you are the Son of God." In the same way, the chief priests, the teachers of the law, and the elders mocked him. "He saved others," they said, "but he can't save himself. He's the King of Israel? Let him come down now from the cross, and we will believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants, for he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" It was now about noon. The darkness came over the whole land until 3 p.m, for the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. And Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." And when he said this, he breathed his last.